Good afternoon.
You stole my line. Hello everybody, it is Monday and again time for Musings with Stephanie and Maria. You see Maria on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Again, time for...
I don't think you can do that, baby.
I can. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
want to be able to read comments.
Well, that's good. Okay. All right. So, hello, everybody. It's Monday, believe it or not, and time again for Musings with Stephanie and Maria. Hi, Maria. I see you there. Hi, Mark. I see you there, too.
We got so much mail about last week's co-host that we decided to make it a regular thing.
Indeed, we did. Well, you know, we had talked about doing City Museum Husbands in the beginning, so Maria gets to do hers, so I get to do mine, right? Never mind. Okay, anyway, so, all right, so how are you all today? I see a few of you out there. I feel like Miss Lois, you know, like I need the magic mirror. And only a certain number of you are going to get the Miss Lois reference.
All the good little doobies in Romberland.
Right. Anyway, how are you? Hi, Lindsay. How are you all today? It's a beautiful day. We had kind of a dreary weekend, which I like that kind of weather, and even I just wanted to stay in the basement and potter about amongst my things, which I did, which kind of leads us to today's segment. Who else is out there? Say hi. Hi, Nancy. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about we're going to have a few stories from the T-shirt vault. So, you know, there's emotional attachments to T-shirts, especially in this house. But I mean, I think everybody has a favorite shirt that you know you like just because of the fit or because of the color or the mostly it's the memories it evokes, you know, especially with old concert shirts, event shirts. Hi, Lori. Anyway, old concert shirts and event shirts and things like that, you know, people collect them, people keep them. God knows we have probably 200 or 300 favorites, I think, here in this house. I kept digging and digging and digging and finding things. So we're going to share a few things with you today. Talk about a little bit of City Museum history connected with them. So, Mark has a treat for us today.
So I have here with me now the first ever City Museum T-shirt. It's Tyrannosaurus Rex from the dinosaur exhibit, and doesn't it have City Museum on the sleeve?
It does.
So this shirt was produced to go along with the dinosaur exhibit, our first major exhibit after we opened.
And so that was what, 1997 through 98, I guess.
Yeah, it was there a long time, easily a year, I think.
That seems right. I think it was gone by the time I got there. I don't remember seeing it. I think it was being dismantled or was already gone. So that would have been February of '99. So, but it was our first big exhibit. It is amazing. Hi, Lori. Yeah. So it was kind of a cool thing to come across. So, in the early days. Yeah, especially when we very first opened, 1997, 98, when I got there in early 99, we were very much still figuring it out, very much by the seat of our pants, you know. And so when I got there to the gift shop, there were a few T-shirts, but I mean, there was not a lot of City Museum merchandise. And I have by no means I found out have a complete archive, but I do have some old things. So here we have one of the very first with the logo. And I think what was our very first tagline, unlike any museum you've ever seen before. I don't know, and I'm holding this in front of my face so I can't see what I'm showing you or not.
Well, lean back.
Oh. Thank you. That's good technical direction.
You're
Okay, so anyway,
raise it up a little bit.
unlike
There you
any...
go. That's fine.
He's not only my co-host, he's my producer. I think that's great. Thank you. Okay, anyway, so unlike any museum we've ever seen before, that was our very first tagline, and these were in the gift shop when I first got there in this blue and kind of a forest green, and that was pretty much it. So a little bit later, this is a little bit, so when I first got there, staff was wearing...
Hi, Mary.
And hi, Jackie.
Hey, Ricky.
Hi, Mary. So this is an early-ish staff shirt. Again with the logo, the multicolored logo that we all know so well. In the very beginning, staff wore...
Maybe I'll hold them up.
Okay. In the very beginning, staff wore these bright and really kind of heavy waffle weave polo shirts with embroidery on them. And I don't remember what staff said on the back, but volunteers said know-it-all on the back. That was what our first volunteers were called. So anyway, and again, oh, another one. Here, do your thing. So, okay, so you see that these are pretty basic logo t-shirts. Why is that? Because Bob did not like to have, unequivocally did not want to have his work reproduced on graphically. He didn't want to have it reduced into graphics. He didn't want to have pictures of it. He was very...
He said to you...
Yeah, he said to me, I hate when people reproduce my stuff. And he absolutely said that he did not want that, you know. So in the beginning, it was, you know, certainly, and I say in the beginning, it was the first 10 years, it was certainly tricky to market a museum, create merchandise for a museum when you can't reproduce any of it visually. When it's a museum that doesn't have a real focus, you know, you can't call it a children's museum or whatever. I mean, we were famously unfocused on anything except having fun. We were focused on that. But we couldn't reproduce anything graphically, you know? So it made it kind of tricky. This is, in the very beginning, we did have this Sullivan exhibit, and we did this shirt, which is a nice heavy shirt for the original, there it is, for the original Sullivan exhibit. November 21st, 1998 to October 17th, 1999. I think it may have actually been there a little bit longer, but that formed the nucleus of our interest in Sullivan at the museum. And this is also something that I learned really in the beginning with these shirts. They were made to sell to the public, but we didn't really have a whole lot of public anyway. So they were also meant for staff and, hi Tony, hi Shannon. Anyway, so they're meant for staff and crew to wear. And I found this out because I was going to do a second or third run of these Sullivan shirts or something, and I priced them out, and I was going to do them on a 50-50 shirt, you know, because it was going to hold the shape better and whatnot. I mean, this is a nice heavy shirt, but it didn't wash real well. It, you know, kind of looked worn at the time, and at the time I wasn't sure that that was such a great thing. And Bruce Gary came to me, and he said, well, you can't do that. I'm not going to put my guys in a half polyester shirt. It's too hot. Oh, and that was a light bulb moment for me, you know. Anyway, so you're kind of okay. Anyway, so as we're back to this. So we now have this museum that we want, people are clamoring for shirts. They want shirts, they want things that have City Museum, they want pictures, and Bob's not having it. Just not having it. So for the first time we went to an outside design firm and had some designs done. And Gail and Jean, if you're out there, you'll remember this. Hi, Rick. So we came, so you come up with things like this. It's, it's a nice design, but what does it really say about City Museum? But it does say St. Louis's Unmuseum, which I think was a tagline that we did actually use for a very short period of time. But, again, you know, and they of course they sell because people want something for City Museum, but how much does it really represent City Museum? I don't know. It's kind of a good looking t-shirt though in retrospect. So same here, you know, same here. We had, of course, we had the big Slinky, the Slinky Climber, and lots of fish. So somebody at a design firm came up with this Slinky fish shirt. And once we had a design, we produced it in all kinds of colors because at least we had something to produce, you know. So eventually,
That's a good one.
yeah, thanks. Eventually, Bob started to relent a little bit. Actually, what would happen is, so I sort of applied his mantra of, you know, do it and ask forgiveness later. I forget exactly what, you know, how we put it, but, you know, go ahead and do something
Easier
and then
to
ask.
get forgiveness than permission.
That's it. That's it. Thank you, baby. So we were able to produce a few things like this. But I can't tell you how many times I did go ahead and I'd go through all the process of artwork and samples and whatnot. And, you know, he'd come by and he'd say, no, you can't do that. And, okay, you know, didn't make me real popular with some vendors and whatnot. But the fact that it was City Museum kind of got me out of a lot of things like that. So we were able to, you know, eventually start kind of using this graphic of the serpent, which we still use on some things and some throwback things to this day, because it is one of the few things that you can.
Well, where's Joe's t-shirt?
It's down here.
Oh,
We're
good.
not there yet.
That's a good one.
do. So anyway, so we were able to, you know, kind of start representing the serpent, because it is very, kind of an iconic thing. Here. Another thing is, so
Anybody want to bet on who's folding these t-shirts up?
go ahead. I'll wait. Anyway, another one. You got to bring that forward so I can see it. This one is a little more detailed, and so this was from when Monstrosity was new. It did go outside again to an outside artist, and I think Ray had something to do with that. I can't remember his last name. But anyway, I think it had something to do with that. And so we were able to produce that for a short period of time. But again, Bob was not crazy about stuff. And if Bob didn't like it, we didn't do it. It was just that simple. We did. Okay, so here's another one. Another Monstro shirt. And you can see we were able to start to kind of use some things that depicted the repeating motifs. Yeah. Fine. Flip that over. And it's got the kind of the back mirror image, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm beginning to lose my words at this point, and my hairdo. Again, so starting to use the repeating motif again. Of course, that's the serpent or the turtle fence. And I have to say, we've used the turtle fence a lot on things in the gift shop. And I can't tell you how many times we have to explain it to people. They say, what's this? And I'm like, you know, it's a turtle fence right there. And that's the way I figured out. It's because when we're standing at the window, we see it from the gift shop all the time. So we're looking at it all the time. All right. Also notice we use a whole lot of muted colors, dark colors, earth tones, concrete colors. You know, here is a notable foray into an early bright colored shirt with the praying mantis as a graphic. And Bob hated this one, hated it. So this one would be a rare one because I think we only produced, you know, 72 of those or something. So probably worth money. All right. We would occasionally do shirts for events that were held at the museum. This one was not specifically a museum shirt, but this was the old school tattoo expo, which, you know, was hosted at the museum or held at the museum for several years. And that inspired us to have as Joe Cummings produced artwork, and this one has been a popular one too. That we have the tattoo serpent. I love City Museum. That's been a popular one. What year did we start using the turtle fence? Oh, early. That ringer shirt is probably 2003 or 4 maybe. So it's been a while. Thank you for the question. Ask questions, please.
Yes, by all means.
Oh, and this is another version of Joe's turtle shirt, or serpent shirt, tattoo serpent shirt that we, again, it's always a real popular one when we do it. So, where else? Monstro is always a popular one.
Maybe I'll show some of my t-shirts.
Well, yeah, I had a bunch of favorites up here, but, that could be like a week-long show. All right. So as time marched on a little bit, you remember our first Sullivan shirt? That's right here. That's right here. Remember our first Sullivan shirt? All right, and that's the back of that. That's the back of that. And that's a really nice heavy shirt that has weathered really and washed really well over the years. But you can see by the time we opened the Elmsley and Sullivan exhibit, things got much more contemporary and kind of fancy. And this was, Laura had this artwork produced. This was not, we produced it at the museum, but she had someone do this artwork. And so that was for our second Sullivan-based show, the Elmsley and Sullivan show, some of which still exists at the museum as formed the kernel of the, what do you call it? Architecture Museum as it stands now, and of the, the Sullivan Gallery. Oh, hey, Alexis. Thank you. Has anyone actually gotten that tattooed, I wonder? I don't know, but it would make a nice back piece, wouldn't it? Are there any other staff that have designed shirts? There's been a few, and we have done a couple of contests.
There have been a number of not for sale City Museum shirts.
As a matter of fact, and we do have a couple of very limited edition, not for sale, staff only shirts. Here, let's go to that if you want, because I'm getting tired of hearing myself talk. I will say this. This is. Oh wait.
Excuse me, just.
Oh, now you're leaving?
No, go right.
No,
ahead.
that's fine. All right. No, that's a
Stay on
good
track.
segue. That's a good segue. We'll go to. These are shirts that were not available for sale. Oh, he's going to the T-shirt archive. This was a staff event shirt. The tuxes. This was an unproduced gear graphic shirt. Which, is one of those things that kind of, like, it looked good, and then once we, did a sample of it, it looks like eyeballs or daisies or something. It doesn't really look like gears. All right. This is one of my favorites. There are 3 of these that exist. This is from a headline from when the pencil was featured on CNN. And you can just call and order these, but I think I have one, Mark has one, and I think Rick, I got one for you. And that's pretty much it. Huge pencil is 76 feet long, 9 tons, which is how I remember these things. I just saw it on CNN. 10:05 a.m., 2/16/09. What are you digging up? And this is one I believe that Leaf, Leaf did the graphic work on the Monstrosity shirt, the photo one. Where did that go? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that gray one that's like the photograph. Anyway, and I believe that Leaf may have also done this, or at least had something to do with it. This was a staff-only limited edition that I'm very proud of. No, not that one. The one that...
Well, fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll find it. So, this is one that's very cool. Yeah, I love that one too. It
So,
appears that I may have shrunk
Tell
it.
me, everybody, what's your oldest and most favorite T-shirt?
That's a good question.
My oldest shirt goes back to 1978.
Do you have it here?
I do.
Oh my God, what a surprise. Do
I
tell
know,
us.
I don't
Do-
have
do-
it
do
in my
tell.
hand.
Oh, oh.
I can find. I
That's
know
what
where
you-
it is. So.
What you were digging for. Okay. Well, he's digging for his oldest shirt. And that is a good question for you. What is your oldest shirt? I think mine is probably, I don't know, sometime in the 70s. I got them all in boxes downstairs. While we're waiting for that, this is one of from my very favorite series, and I can't find the ones, but Get Lost is a favorite, and then Knock Yourself Out, it said on the front, and ice packs available at the front desk on the back. And I think that was actually CJ who came up with that one day while we were standing there chatting in the gift shop. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was CJ's, and that is one of my favorite of all time, you know, and unfortunately I just can't find it. And here we go. What did you find?
So here's my oldest and most treasured T-shirt. This is Utopia, 1978. I got this shirt. 1979 maybe. I saw Utopia with the Tubes
Where?
at the Opera House.
Man.
And
So I wonder if Todd was married to Michelle at that point. Todd's wife.
I'm not sure.
Todd's wife was was with the Tubes, and I don't know if they were married at that time or not. What I like about that one too.
Here's
look.
the Police North American Tour, 1983. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my most prized T-shirts, or what remains of
What's
it.
left of it.
My Clash T-shirt from 1984 at the Opera
Okay.
House. I went to pick it. I wore it until a few years ago, and I went to pick it up one day, and it literally fell apart in my hands. So I made a patch of it. That's the front,
That's the front. Okay.
out of control. And this is what I could piece together from the back. It really fell apart bad. And it says Mohawk Revenge, freedom is more vital than a job.
That might be a tattoo at some point.
And
Ooh, a
let's
$5
see.
Smith's T-shirt.
Here to throw you a curveball. This is T-shirt
Whoa.
from Billy Joel concert.
How 80s is this? My God. And it's an actual shirt without sleeves. Meant to be without sleeves.
There's the back.
Look at that.
This one is smelling a little rough.
They all smell.
Not all
Is
smell
there a year on
bad.
that? Is there a year on the pocket part of that?
No. It's the Innocent Man
There
tour.
is?
Yes, I was a huge Billy Joel fan for a minute.
I don't know that I'd admit that.
Shocking, isn't it?
It does say copyright 1983 William Joel right underneath the pocket print. So 1983.
Okay.
Could it be older than your police shirt?
And then, no, they're both 83.
Yes, I know that.
So, for all you local music fans, here's one of the very early Urge T-shirts. And there's the back. And there you will not find anyone who has more Urge memorabilia than I do. I mean, really, you
It's
won't.
true.
I got so many T-shirts, I got them all.
But he also got temporary custody of the archives, the Urge archives.
Well, one archive.
One of them, the early ones.
Yeah, so this, I'm not going to show you all the Urge T-shirts, but this is, that
You hold on to this.
that first one is from Putting the Backbone Back. That was their second CD. And then this is Magically Delicious. Jeff Herschel, my dear friend, did all this artwork. He's really good. And come back, baby. Come back. So how about the weather? It's really nice today, isn't it?
All right, fine. Two more things here then. Since we've derailed and we're showing you our own t-shirts, I want to show you. I don't have any idea. But I am envious of the bootleg Smiths t-shirt. Sometimes bootleg ones are the best. That Todd Rundgren one, as you'll notice, was one that you'd buy outside of Kiel for $10, right?
It might have been. I'm not sure about that.
It was. It was. Okay. Are you gonna keep going, or
No,
I got
go
two
on.
things to show
Go
you
on.
and
I'm just
one thing to
looking.
wrap up with. All right. So I will show you two of my favorites, not old necessarily, but two of my favorites of all time. The Devo Mill shirt from the Silver Ballroom. This thing cracks me up every time I see it. I loved it so much I bought it even though it didn't fit because it was the only one that was left, and well, you know me, someday it'll fit. And then one of my other favorites, I got a bunch of old concert t-shirts too. I just didn't want to steal the show. One of my other favorites
Go ahead, baby.
is Cooking with Auntie Fee. Auntie Fee was kind of a YouTube star about 10 years ago that Tim will remember if you're out there, Tim Cochran, but this is one of my favorite quotes from Auntie Fee. Kids and fat people like a lot of cheese.
Did you just offer me cheese?
What? Well, yes, I did. Anyway, all right, so one of my favorites. You have something else you want to show, baby?
Yeah.
Boy, this
Sammy
derailed
Hagar.
quick. What? Why are
Sammy
we doing
Hagar. Right here.
this? It's like a belly shirt, too.
Yeah, that was a cheap t-shirt. It shrank pretty bad there. Mm-hmm. Oh, all of these t-shirts I still wear, too, from time to time. Well, many of them.
Yeah, okay, from time to time you do. All right, where are we? Oh, look, perfect timing. You got anything else that you're dying to show from the archive, baby? If I'd have known this, I'd have brought my stuff upstairs.
Well,
All right,
I don't think so.
okay.
We're going to let you off the hook.
I'm going to close here with, I'm wearing my current, this is going to be my favorite pandemic shirt. Ask me how I'm doing. Fine, thanks, and it's a spitting cat.
I'm, of course, wearing a welder's t-shirt.
Oh, go on with you. It's a good thing he promotes because nobody was. Okay, I will throw out one more thing here.
Bob Sandifer's watching.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Well, there'll be lots of exciting vintage outfits, I believe, also in the upcoming exhibit that the Missouri History Museum will have in 2021 on St. Louis Sound. Well, I know that. Part of the reason we've gotten into all these t-shirts was because there will be some of my old clothes in it. Anyway, all right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Love you. Love you. Love City Museum. Love St. Louis.
Take care of each other.
Love
Take
not
care of
being
yourselves.
sick.
Love not being sick for sure. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
Have
Till
fun.
we see you again.
Get out of my house.